Welcome back to Tech Talk, guys, and this is the Windows Phone edition, the Alcatel Idol 4S Windows Phone. So I'm going to give you the specs on this device. The specs are, it has a Snapdragon 820 processor, that's a quad core. I think it goes up to 2.15 gigahertz. It has 3.5 gigabytes of RAM and a 64 gigabyte ROM. Of that, I believe you get a lot of storage. I don't know off the top of my head the amount, but it's pretty good. You can also, because it has a dual SIM, you can use one of the SIMs for an SD card, and then you can do whatever you want with the SD card, install apps, install media. It's quite good the way that works. I have to say it's been a while since I used a Windows Phone. Now, this Windows Phone is kind of an upgrade, middle version. Windows, the Microsoft Store had a deal on this phone for $100. Now, this comes with a 5.5-inch AMOLED screen, the Snapdragon 820 processor, which is not the newest processor on the block, but it is still a very high-quality processor. It's not a 6 series, it's an 8 series. So there's certain LTE properties, certain graphics capabilities that are just superior because of the type of chip that it's running. Now, even though it's a little bit older, and it's only a quad core compared to most phones now are running hexacores or octa-cores, or even some now are using the MediaTek X30, which is a deca-core processor. So that being said, there's a lot of variations to these processors. Core count is not all that matters. It's the type of CPUs that are being used. Are they Cortex A73, an A72, or an A53? All of those types of chipsets make a difference. So in this particular device, like I said, we're looking at onboard storage of 64 gigs. 3.5 gigs of RAM, which for Windows is pretty good. Most of the transitions and things are fairly snappy. Sometimes Windows lags, but for the most part, it's a good experience. If I go into one of the things also I like about the interface is the way it works. So I can go into all apps here. And then I can search at the top, or I can enter in my app, and it's divided up alphabetically, which I really do enjoy. Now, if I had a bunch of apps open, let's say I get out of here. So I'll go into storage here so you guys can see. I just pretty much set this thing up, and I only have a couple apps on here. So 7 gigabytes are used out of the 58.2 gigabytes of usable space. So you get about 51 gigabytes. So it's a little more than you get out of an Android installation. And you can see how much of the SD card is being used. So, and then you can pick where you want things to be downloaded, where you want your apps to be saved to. I really, really wish Android would do something like this. It's fantastic. Windows is light years ahead just for that particular thing there. So, as I said, you can have a bunch of apps going at the same time. You just long press that, your back button, and then you can simply, well, I can't do that one, but you get the idea. So I can X out of the apps that I don't want. Long press again, I don't want that. So bam, bam. Oops, I did want Awesome Tube, darn it. So there you go. You can kind of get the idea of how this works. I was uploading a video here. Let's see if this is going to work. Anyway, so you guys get the idea. For some things, Windows doesn't just work real well. So uploading a YouTube video, for example, it's not a smooth process. There's no Google services. There's no YouTube application. There's no way to do that. But see here, I'm using a private application through the Windows Store, and I can upload a YouTube video without a problem. Also, the Windows Store basically doesn't stream music anymore, so you basically have kind of a crappy media player, but it does play regular applications, and that's just about it. If you want to stream video, you just use Amazon. I'm not sure that Amazon Music actually works on this device, so I have to do more investigation. Of course, you can easily transfer files from your computer to the phone. It works seamlessly and quite easily. So if you just have your own MP3 files, then it's not a problem at all of transferring your files. So what do I like about it though? Like I said, I have, well, I probably didn't list, but so the applications that I like to use are Asphalt 8, Netflix, just a few other apps, and all of those apps are available here. Even some things that I haven't found, I've been able to find workarounds. The advantages are you get the full Microsoft applications, and then the browsing experience on Edge is superior on this phone, and then the screen is fantastic. You get dual front-firing speakers. Why doesn't anybody else do this? Alcatel did a fantastic job with that. So the build quality, this Dragon Tail glass really feels great. I don't know how scratch resistant it will be. I bought a case for the phone. I didn't like the case, but the build quality and feel of this phone is simply phenomenal. It definitely feels like a high-end device. It's certainly not $100. So the other thing, Microsoft got this to me in one day. I didn't pay for shipping. It was free. So for $110 out the door, got the phone the next day, and I've been playing with it ever since. And to be honest with you, it's been really hard for me to put it down because it's such a nice device. I'm mostly an Android guy, and I love my Android phones and my Chinese Android phones, but when you see something like this and the way that it works, it makes you think, and it really makes you think how that this interface failed. I really don't quite understand it. So, guys, and why is Microsoft still selling these if they're not going to even be supporting them? I think what they're going to be doing is they're dumping these on the market to give people an idea of what Windows can do. Obviously, you're not going to buy this unless you're a hardcore fan of Windows. If you're an average consumer, unless it's really cheap. So the hardware is so good and it's so cheap. Just as like having an extra Windows tablet in the house. I mean, it's worth that just for that price, or having a reader, Kindle reader, whatever. I don't know if there's even a Kindle app available on Windows Phone. So, you know, that's really the problem with the Windows Phone, is simply the app problem. You know, there's just not the functionality. If Windows could kind of help along with that situation by either building their own apps that will support these other applications, or by paying somebody to do it for them. They have the resources, they should just do it. And then there won't be any real limitation for people to jump in. They also need to have a streaming store. They really need to step up and restart that. You know, the Xbox has been so successful, they might as well. I don't know if they want to launch that as a phone application, because it's kind of, you know, kind of a kid branding thing, but I don't know. They definitely need to have an all-in-one kind of solution for people, because otherwise it's just not going to be viable at all. But I really do think the OS is more than solid. It's totally stable. I've got the latest version. This is January 2018. I had several updates when I got the phone. But it's been stellar. I mean, it's pretty stable. There's some glitches and crashes here and there, more so than I would get with Android, but I have to say overall it's pretty good. And I'm sorry for the bumpy video, guys. This is on my Ulefone T1, and yeah, I'm getting a little bumpy with the holding the camera for a while, so I apologize about that. But so I can show you Netflix on here real quickly to give you an idea of what a great multimedia device this is. Now this is also still uploading a video at the same time it's downloading this. I don't know what that is. USS Callister, whatever. Let's just see what this is here. And if you don't like, if you're playing a game or something, you don't want to see this, you just swipe like that and it goes away. So, let's see here. Oh, that's just so loud, guys. Wow. Turn this thing down. So, I won't go into any more, but you get the idea. The sound is phenomenal. The picture is great. It's 1080p, but it's an AMOLED screen, and it's just fantastic. So, you know, for multimedia consumption, they hit it out of the park with this. The 820 processor is more than capable of handling Netflix, browsing, and it runs Asphalt 8 pretty good. So, yeah, I'm a little perplexed. I'm going to be using this as my primary device for a little while just to see what it's like, and I have to say it's kind of growing on me. I really like it. I've run into some glitches here and there and been able to find workarounds so far. So as long as I can find workarounds, I may continue to use this for a while. I know it's a heck of a lot more secure than Android is, and since it's like 2%, 0.1% of the user base, no one's going to be trying to hack my Windows phone. So I feel a little more secure on it in that sense, and yeah, honestly, guys, it's quite nice. You know, the OneNote integration, all that stuff is really good. So Microsoft, if you're listening, you've got good OS. You got to make a few tweaks here and there. Your notification system is not so great. A few other tweaks, but you know, you're really headed in the right direction. The stability is there. Speed it up a little, optimize the system, get some really good OEM manufacturers. Alcatel did a great job. So yeah, more devices like this, get more apps, and you'll see more people like myself adopting your platform. Make it a little more customizable. I mean, you already do that pretty well, but allow people to install beta software like you used to. Anyway, that's my take on Windows Phone in 2018. Is Windows dead? I think Windows is taking a break. I don't think it's dead. I think they're coming back. Yeah, they wouldn't. I don't know. This is my opinion. I don't think they're going to completely get rid of the interface. And for enterprise users, for business users, these phones would work really well. Even Netflix and a couple games run on here, so you know you're going to have some glitches and some compatibility issues. And then if you're looking for apps, you know, forget it. But for a basic phone, you know, to give to a kid, even I would for $100, I would definitely recommend this phone. Definitely. If you have a T-Mobile or Metro PCS or Mint SIM, I know it's fully compatible. And yeah, if you're a kid or if you're just a basic user, you don't care what you're using, and you're not using tons of apps, you're using maybe Facebook, Netflix, the internet, and some email, then this phone really does work fine for that. The Maps application so far seems okay. You know, it's not as good as Google, but it's okay. Messaging app is great. The phone app is great. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a hard thing to say, but I do like the device quite a bit, and it's been a surprise. I wasn't expecting to like it. I just on a fluke saw this sale for $100 and said, "What the heck?" So is Windows back? No, not in any way. Is it viable for most users? Absolutely not. But if you're interested in just seeing what the OS is like at this point, you want to try a Snapdragon 820, it's a good phone to get just as like a media device, you know. Store all your music on here locally and watch Netflix and take calls and stuff. I mean, it's really not a bad phone. So that's my review. It's been a long review, but I don't normally do reviews of Windows phones, so I wanted to kind of touch a lot of different bases because there's been a ton of rumors. Myself, when I got the phone, I didn't know Windows Phone OS was dead, as they said anyway, until after I bought the phone. But anyway, I still like it. I'm not getting rid of it. For $100, it's a solid device. I mean, it's just beautiful. You can see the black, the way that they designed this. See how you can see made in China. That is all like laser etched in, and you can only see it at a certain angle. And the black is real dark black, charcoal, not any blemish on it anywhere. The build quality is just immaculate. The camera is pretty good. There is a button on the side here. You see this little button? That's a camera button. Now on the Android version of this device, it's a button that you can assign anything to, and I wish Microsoft would have let us determine that because I trigger it a lot and I don't want to, and it's just, I wish I could just turn it off. Anyway, that's the one bug of the design of this phone. The camera is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best, but for $100, it's better than anything in that price range. Absolutely. But even at a triple that price, it's a good camera. It's not the best, but it's good. It also has a front 8 megapixel, I believe, wide angle selfie camera in the front, which is also very good quality. The AMOLED screen again is just fantastic. The gold is not super flashy gold. It's just kind of a light goldish color, which I like because I'm not a flashy kind of person. So, you know, if you're a businessman, this is a fantastic device, I think, for you to use. For $100, you can't go wrong. You know, if you want full latest and greatest kind of stuff, then no, it's not going to work for you. But if you're just a real steady business person, you're just using the apps like I already stated, then it's a solid choice. It's going to be supported. It's going to be more secure because there's not going to be a lot of people using this kind of device. And it's fully compatible with Windows, so transferring files back and forth are quite easy. So that's it, guys. Alcatel 4S, Idol 4S is a fantastic device. Even at the asking price, it would have been a good phone. But for $100, you just can't beat it. You really can't. So that's my my take. And I really do hope that Windows comes back. You know, I love having more than just two OSs. Apple, for me, is just a no-go. Android's been a favorite for many years, but I also do really like Windows. It's a good platform. I use it on my computer. I know there's a lot of haters out there, but you know what? The truth is, Microsoft has come a long way. They make mistakes just like any other company, but I think they've made a tremendous amount of progress, and I truly like their products. I think they need to refocus a little bit more on making their own products again, and also refocusing on the mobile scene. So we'll see what happens, but that's been my long-winded review of Windows 10 Mobile and the Alcatel Idol 4S. In 2018, should you buy a Windows phone? Well, I think you should if you are, as I said, a power Windows user, a business person that is a serious business person. You know, it's funny because there's a BlackBerry version of this phone that runs on Android, and it's nowhere near as secure as this phone that's running Windows 10. But go figure. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. This has been Tech Talk. If you have any other ideas, things you want to discuss, I'll be reviewing the Master 10 by T-Class will be the next review, and a review of the Xiaomi Mi Max 2, and also a review of the HP 360 with the AMD Ryzen mobile processor. So look forward to sharing my reviews on those devices and more devices as we go. And hopefully, if you like this video and you have other suggestions, we can continue to do this on a regular basis. Okay, thanks so much. Till next time on Tech Talk.